This video explains how to find the positions of dots in a character string using the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you several examples, and all of these examples are based on the character string that we can create with line 2 of the code. So if you run this line of code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that a new data object called myString is appearing, and we can print this character string to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 3 of the code. And then you can see that our character string contains certain letters, and in between these letters you can see some dots. So let's assume that we want to find all the positions of all the dots in our character string. Then we can apply the unlist and gregexpr functions, as you can see in line 5 of the code. And within the gregexpr function we need to specify 2 slashes and a dot and the name of our character string. And then I'm storing the output of this in a new data object that I'm calling allDots. So if you run line 5 of the code, this data object allDots is appearing at the top right. And as you can see by running line 6 of the code, this data object contains 4 elements. So each of these numbers corresponds to the location of one of the dots in our character string. So for instance, the first dot is appearing at the 4th position, the second dot is appearing at the 6th position, and so on. So in this first example, I have explained how to return all dot positions. However, it's also possible to show only the first dot position using the R programming language, and we can do that by simply subsetting our data object allDots that I have created before, as you can see in line 8 of the code. So for this we can use square brackets, and within the square brackets we need to specify the number 1. And then I'm storing the output of this in another data object that I'm calling first dot. So if you run line 8 of the code, this data object first dot is appearing at the top right. And if you run line 9, you can see that the number 4 is returned, so the location of the first dot in our character string. We can also return only the last dot of our character string, as you can see in line 11 of the code. So once again, I'm using the allDots data object that I have created in line 5. And then within the square brackets, I'm using the length function to get the last position of the last dot in our character string. And as in the previous examples, I'm creating a new data object to store the output of my code. So in this case, I'm calling this data object last dot. So after running this line of code, a new data object called last dot is appearing at the top right. And if you run line 12 of the code, the position of the last dot, so the position 13, is appearing in the RStudio console. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.